So the thing is, that you, again, hubris of your inferiority and their manhood. I didn't catch it in time. It was about 5 minutes ago. I'm writing something here, something that's creative, and the time now is 14:51, Saturday, July the 8th. The red colored Super Puma, which belongs to the Icelandic Coast Guard or whatever, sometimes they will use it to carry the Vikings. Um, um, I forget the name of the Vikings, the elite unit of the Iceland counter-terror. It had did a circuit around here. Remember what I told you in the previous video, that if you're the target, you will be inside the rotational circuit of a helicopter. You won't be outside of it. Sometimes you'll be inside. Sometimes, on some occasions, you will be outside. Outside the arc if they don't want to antagonize the tourists or any other people that they feel that are more important than you are. Yeah, they'll just pass. They'll do a circuit, and they did two circuits, heavy circuits here, like two close by circuits to right over this place, this fish and chips thing, right there. They do heavy circuits, and the people looked up. So a possibility, which I'm doing a supposition and inference, is tracking the phones of certain people and somebody using that for racial discrimination, racial prejudice. This red car, I've seen a lot. Yeah, the red little car there, GAV60 or V something. I've seen it a lot. And this vehicle a lot, and I think it's an Asian person driving. I think he's trying to do his U-turn. What is it, QVA or QAV? VQA or GA or QA, V85 or V80 or something. I've seen it a lot. And the thing is, these people, their lives, no matter how frumpy, as Max Kaiser would say, how frumpy they are, there is a basic rudimentary maxim that their lives are worth far more than yours. It's a person of homely Negroid ethnic ancestry, especially a male of a really Africanoid type of ancestry or ethnicity. Your life is deemed basically worthless. So there is some sort of operation. I can't find it, but there are some people. Well, they were talking to CIA queen of torture, whose name was Jakowski or Jakowski or something. That's not a Polish name. That's an Ashkenazi name, and they would have deep interest in order to have a venerated, a long-held distaste or disgust towards Islam and Muslims, especially those of Ashkenazi ancestry. It would be a bias. It would be a traditional bias against Muslims, and to think that that she is in a position like that, which is a position like that, which is having rule over the common people's lives and can decide your life or death in an instant, and you won't even know what's happening, what's going on, stuff like that. So that situation, that crap is really it's no good, man. And there's no checks on it because the other people that are also those ethnicities I told you that are viewed or deemed to be far more valuable than my ethnicity. It's like, well, we want to be safe by whatever it takes, as long as we're not targeted. You're targeted, that's fine. I'm sorry. It'll come out like, well, I'm sorry. You have to suffer like that, but we got to be kept safe from people like you. Meaning what? Like the Egyptians show on the thing Memory, which I love the intellectual discourse of a thing which is called Memory, MEMRI, memory.org. Is that the discourse, about modernist atheism and all that kind of stuff in the Muslim and Arab world, the open-minded discourse, is that it shows a lot my thoughts are digressing right now because I'm trying to do this thing on the lead. Hold on.
Was or was.
Herkese.
Dönmeliga. Inte?
Yeah, so the Vikas, yeah, they were trained by the U.S. military. The Vikings are Vikings, or the Viking squad. Vikings are Viking. Vikings are Viking. Those boys, you don't want to play with those people. No, absolutely not. You don't want to play with them. So what it is, because there's already, like someone told me, within the local language, the word Utlander is a eschewing kind of a word, like the Outlanders. The Utlander. The Ut. Yeah, Ut means out. So it is a repelling word in itself, just in the vocabulary. The Utland. So, so in that light, you got to be careful when you're in these societies. You got to be very careful. So, because of the lurking possibility of the fascism, you got to be very careful. It's always there. And the reason why I talk like this, because you are the needy ethnicity. They don't need from you. You need from them. Because a lot of our leadership throughout the Middle East, Africa, and other places, they screwed everything up, man. They messed everything up, even on a bigger level. You say, oh, but that's the Middle East, that's the Gulf states, that's the wealthy petroleum states. It's still sort of kleptocratic. They took the bulk of the money, and then they claimed, that, what do you call it? The bulk of the money in the Persian Arabian Gulf, and there are kings and emirs and malik, and then they claim most of the money belongs to them. That their service for making decisions over the rest of you is worth more than your. It's in itself, it's haram. It's haram, man. Yeah, something that's in the land of other people, and then they claim dominion over the money. So this is no good, man. So I gotta look now for when I talk to the ocean observations, which the guy Tom told me to send. I don't know if I recorded the call or not. Send an email, and then he'll get to somebody over it by the next week. Next week, which was last Monday. Today being Saturday, not the Monday that just passed. The Monday before. Yeah, it was the Monday that just passed. Today being July the 8th, and nobody got to me all week. Nobody got to me. How long does it take to do something like that? You see what I'm talking about? So something funny is going on, and it has something to do. I don't know. I don't want to get in because I have a pall of irrelevance over my identity and over my ancestry and my demographic that I belong to. There's a pall of insignificance. So you don't want to start doing cloak and dagger type of supposition, CIA and all that kind of stuff. But you have to remember, the U.S. State Department does, let me get my language right, the intel agencies and security structure works for the State Department. It serves the U.S. State Department. You always got to remember that. Yeah, the State Department gives the order and they follow it. You always got to understand that. Yeah, so it's not originally. Yep, the lady was here. I can smell it. She was here. I forget her name. Yeah, there's a local woman that's going through something. If she's here, I will be able to smell it. It's unfortunate. We don't know why she's going through this. But there needs to be another building with comfortable areas like this for more imagination. See, what I like is the society has strong self-affirmation of the children, of the young people, strong self-affirmation of the confidence of their being, of their essence, of who they are. The affirmation of their identity is very strong. Whereas there's a strong construction of their humanity. Whereas people like myself and our ethnicity, particularly our gender, there was a strong deconstruction, a demolishing of your self-worth, of your identity, particularly men in the contemporary world. It's very interesting for me to observe, even though men have been the usurpers and the abusers for time immemorial. But even especially the ones that want to be good, there's an active deconstruction and demolishing of the man's masculinity or his paternal, or how can I say, patriarchal role in his interpersonal relationships and in the society in general, particularly the Afro-ethnic male. It's very interesting. Unless he was able to surmount all of that and then make it into entertainment or celebrity or something like that, then it's different. Then he really survived the survival of the fittest, the Darwinian extreme boulders, boulders, car or building size boulders thrown at him, then he's celebrated, he's somewhat respected, and even then he's scrutinized. But other than that, see, 5-star billionaire Tosh Owl. See, Tosh Owl is probably Chinese. See, I've never seen the book before. See, all of that is celebrated, but when it comes to you, it is reviled and suspect. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. God forgive us. I mean, man, God forgive. God help us. God help us to escape, man. Wow, real deep stuff going on now, especially now in this time. Real deep psychological operations going on now in this time. This contemporary. It wasn't even this bad during. President George W. Bush. No. It was a picnic at that time compared to what's going on now. Picnic, man. All right, God. So like I said, I have somebody that's generating this stuff, but they don't want it to get any publicity whatsoever. None. No publicity whatsoever. They are fighting tooth and nail for it not to get any publicity whatsoever, because it is at the center of everything. But the problem is my identity is so sordid. It's so sordid that it will present dismay, or it will dissuade a number or many from taking me seriously or my case. This is the problem, and they orchestrated it very carefully around core aspects of my being. Like Donald Trump has his little buttons, and his little things that they know about him that are sorted or whatever, and he could be moved and twirled a little bit around that, but not too much. But I have a lot that they could use, a lot of push buttons. That's the problem with this whole thing. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. Erasure. See? Right there. This is an erasure operation that's going on against me. Yep, exactly right here. I couldn't have said it more succinctly.